So thing number one, NFL free agency frenzy. So Tom Brady is back, but even that feels like outdated news right now because of all the craziness that's been going on this week in the NFL. First, the Chargers are building a super team out there in LA. Secondly, that will not be outdone by the Broncos breaking Cowboys fans' hearts, snatching Randy Gregory from them. The Steelers are rolling with Mitch Trubisky to replace Big Ben. That's not going to work. And we have Baker Mayfield sharing a love letter to Cleveland fans, signaling that his time there might be coming to an end.
Oh, here we go again, Mackenzie. What is with these quarterbacks and their too long don't read cover letters?
They love to write them as much as they like throwing footballs, I guess. But most talk, though, is currently centered around Deshaun Watson. Even though he won't face any criminal charges following a police investigation from a lawsuit that was filed by 22 women accusing him of inappropriate behavior and sexual assault, he still could face some discipline from the league. But Analis, that still has not stopped teams like the Saints, the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Browns all still trying to pursue him as their next franchise quarterback.
Mackenzie, although a grand jury did not indict him, he is still facing separate civil proceedings filed by 22 different women. These women are claiming harassment and assault. So quite frankly, I don't care if the teams that you mentioned could use his talent in football on their roster. And the coverage from the likes of ESPN has at times been very cringe. And whichever team that ends up landing Watson, they will celebrate him. And that's sad because we in the media should do our job and not just push his off the field issues to the side.
Yeah, it's not just a football side when talking about Deshaun Watson anymore, and that might be the case for the rest of his career. But moving on to thing number two, baseball is back. Analis, we jumped forward an hour this week. I'm still tired. Sunsets are later, the weather's getting warmer, and yes, baseball players are finally playing baseball. So spring training is here after an ugly lockout has mercifully come to an end. And while there will be 162 games and opening day is set for April 7th, the question that I have next, is baseball in a good place? And are we going to actually see fans coming back in full force? Here's our Twitter star, Bob Nightingale, to answer that very question.
We'll see how attendance is. The Padres say season tickets are record high. Boston Red Sox say they're down 30%. So we'll see how this affects it. Remember, no ticket sales at all for the entire winter is gotta hurt. And as far as the Twitter feed, just having me in Florida negotiations. So at least it showed that people cared about it. I didn't think people cared at all about negotiations, but a lot more people had interest than I thought.
Bob was really the only bright spot from lockout negotiations. This man truly needs his flowers after being goated on Twitter. But on the field, it definitely is going to be a wait-and-see approach this season to see if fans do come back in full force, and it's likely to vary from team to team.
Yeah, like if I'm a Mets or Braves fan or Cardinals fan, I'm definitely going to the park. But if I'm an Oakland fan, there is no way I'm seeing that sorry franchise play this year. Because baseball, like I feel like it has been for a while, is such a regional sport compared to the likes of ones we talk about on the national level, like football or basketball,
Which is a shame because someone like Shohei Ohtani deserves to be as big of a star as Joe Burrow.
I know, but moving on to thing number three, women's tourney smoke and mirrors. So finally, the women's tournament is going to have the same March Madness branding as the men's tournament. Congrats, finally. But do not let that fool you that things are getting better. So in her latest op-ed, our very own Nancy Armour sends a warning shot to the NCAA, essentially saying, be prepared to see the NCAA shortchange women's sports yet again on the national stage. Now, if we remember, the NCAA was put on full blast last year with the whole debacle and the weight room thing. But my question now again is, how much has really changed?
Mackenzie. So after Oregon's Sedona Prince blew the whistle and posted the videos and pictures of the gym equipment, the swag bags, the inequalities between last year's tournament went viral on social media. And this led to a full-fledged investigation of the NCAA. Some changes have been made, but it feels like a facade to me. And Nancy is absolutely right. These little tweaks are not enough to show that the NCAA really cares about their female athletes.
Hey sports fans, if you want to watch more sports seriously, be sure to check out these clips right here. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel to see all the great content from us here at USA Today Sports.